I'm so tired of this shit.
And tonight we're learning more about the deadly nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs. Now, by all accounts, the death toll and the number of injured could have been much higher.
Friends, family, and coworkers all remember the 5 who were killed and the 18 injured in Saturday night's shooting. They are thankful for 2 men who took that shooter down. We are now learning who those men are, so many calling them heroes.
2 men who took down the gunman. Witnesses say those men grabbed one of his guns, hitting him with it and pinning him down until police arrived. Some say they were kicking and punching him, all saying it was heroic and life-saving.
We know one or more patrons heroically intervened to subdue the suspect, and we praise those individuals who did so because their actions clearly saved lives.
Club Q posting on Facebook, our prayers and thoughts are with all the victims and their families and friends. We thank the quick reactions of heroic customers that subdued the gunman and ended this hate attack. A bartender, Michael Anderson, took to Facebook to thank them, saying, I don't know who tackled the gunman, but whoever it was saved my life. Thank you. One of the men who stopped the gunman was Rich Fierro, a veteran and owner of the Atravita Beer Company in Colorado Springs.
I really and truly don't understand this whole I'm mad at the world or at a group of people, so I'm going to go shoot up a bunch of people. Besides it being unbelievably disgusting and evil, it's stupid as hell. This guy clearly had an issue with gay people, so he decided to go to a gay bar and shoot a bunch of gay people. Okay, and now what? What did you accomplish? Now you're going to jail for the rest of your life, dum-dum. There's nothing badass or noble about shooting unarmed people at a nightclub. If you thought you were a loser before, you're an even bigger loser now, because all you did was relegate yourself to a lifetime of misery behind bars. To all the potential mass shooters out there, before you decide to go on your shooting rampage, understand that what you're about to do is stupid, and it's only going to make your life worse. No one is going to remember you. The days of becoming infamous for being a mass shooter are gone. They'll blast your name for a little bit, and then on to the next. You'll just fade into the darkness with a long list of other losers who thought killing a bunch of unarmed people would cause them to go out in some perverted sense of infamous glory. You will not be remembered the way you think you will. You will just become a number added to the stats that the anti-gun lobby will try to use to take away people's rights. And speaking of anti-gun, of course the first thing out of Joe Biden's mouth in response to this shooting is more gun control. Today, yet another community in America has been torn apart by gun violence. More families left with an empty chair at the table and a hole in their lives that cannot be filled. When will we decide we've had enough? We must address the public health epidemic of gun violence in all of its forms. Earlier this year, I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 3 decades, in addition to taking other historic actions. But we must do more. We need to enact an assault weapon ban to get weapons of war off of America's streets. We've had enough a long time ago. What do you mean, when is it going to be enough? We've been had enough of this shit. We had enough of this shit a long time ago. That's why we arm ourselves, because you can't do anything to keep us safe except pass dumbass gun laws that criminals don't follow. Not to mention that once again, you all knew about this guy and did nothing before this happened. It's on record that he threatened his mother with a homemade bomb, forcing neighbors in surrounding homes to evacuate while the bomb squad and crisis negotiators talked him into surrendering.
New details are emerging about the alleged shooter's criminal past. News Nation has obtained these videos of Aldrich surrendering to police in June 2021.
Now, this comes as we learn new details about the alleged gunman's criminal past. In June 2021, Aldrich surrendered to police after holing up inside a family member's home, allegedly armed with a bomb, guns, and ammo.
And what did y'all do? Nothing. Colorado has red flag laws. Why didn't the red flag law stop him from owning guns? There's no record that any prosecutor saw any felony kidnapping or menacing charges against this guy. That felony alone would have prevented him technically from getting or possessing a gun legally. But you want to stack red flag laws on top of other dumb laws, on top of other dumb laws, when you don't even utilize the first laws we have now in place to stop or prevent somebody from owning a gun legally. And then yet and still, even withstanding that, who's to say he couldn't have gone and got one illegally? These gun laws are dumb. They're dumb. But yet he's tapping himself on the shoulder, congratulating himself because he passed some stupid gun control measure. But what did it do? Did it do anything? It didn't, because the government failed to do its job. How does someone cause an entire neighborhood to evacuate because they threaten that they have a bomb and there are no charges? Yet you want us to give up our guns to trust you all to keep us safe? Then you have Joe Biden up here talking about assault weapon bans. That's your solution to a guy walking into a club and shooting people? Who cares what gun he used to do it? Whether he used a handgun, whether he used a rifle, it didn't matter. You all didn't stop him. You all didn't prevent this from happening. It was the people in the club who stopped him from doing it. It wasn't because he had a limitation magazine. We have over 21 million AR-15s in this country. You really think an assault weapon ban is gonna stop criminals from getting their hands on them? The truth is, the anti-gun lobby uses fear from these types of shootings to push their agenda, which is control by way of stripping away the Second Amendment. The goal of gun control isn't to save lives, it's to control you. Saving lives is the juice that the poison is sitting in to get you to drink it. My heart goes out to all of those that lost their lives at the hands of this lunatic. And to the people that fought back and stopped him, be proud of yourself, because you saved a ton of lives that night. Whether you used a gun, your fist, or heel, it doesn't matter, because you all refused to be a victim and stood up and fought back against insurmountable odds, which is what the Second Amendment is all about. Giving power to the people to fight back against any person or any government that thinks itself so powerful that they can freely terrorize our lives or this country. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, black, brown, white, yellow, pink, able-bodied, disabled, young, or old. The Second Amendment belongs to everyone, and that's what makes us who we are. And we don't let the evil degenerates of the world cause us to give up our freedom, because once you give up your freedom, you never get it back. Right now, there's a culture war against the Second Amendment, which is why I need your help spreading our message to counter their message. You can help do this by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and click the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice, and let them know you want to keep America tactical, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed wasn't a suggestion, it was a directive.